Welcome back to BK Collectables, the channel where we explore the fascinating world of American coins, from rare collectibles to hidden gems you can still find in everyday life. If you're passionate about coin collecting or just starting out, make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a new video. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting treasure hunts in modern coin collecting, finding junk silver in circulation. That's right. We're talking about silver coins you can still potentially find in your pocket change, in rolls from the bank, or even sitting unnoticed in a family coin jar. Junk silver refers to old United States coins that contain actual silver, but are not rare enough to be valued solely for their numismatic worth. Instead, their value lies in their silver content, which makes them especially appealing to both collectors and investors. The term junk silver might sound negative, but these coins are far from junk. In fact, they're one of the best-kept secrets for building a precious metals stash without paying a premium over spot prices. Before we get into which coins to look for, it's important to understand the magic year, 1964. That's the cutoff point for most silver coinage in the United States. Any dimes, quarters, or half dollars minted in 1964 or earlier contain 90% silver. But there's an important exception to that rule that many collectors overlook: silver nickels minted during World War II. Between the years of 1942 and 1945, the United States minted a special type of 5-cent coin that contained silver. These are commonly referred to as war nickels. Due to the wartime need for nickel in military applications, the mint changed the composition of the coin to include 35% silver, 49% copper, and 9% manganese. These war nickels look similar to standard Jefferson nickels, but they can be identified easily by a large mint mark above the dome of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin. This mint mark can be a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. This is actually the only time the Philadelphia Mint used a P mint mark on a coin before the 1980s. If you're searching through old change or coin rolls, always keep an eye out for Jefferson nickels dated from 1942 through 1945. Specifically, look for the silver variety, which began in mid-1942. Not all nickels from that year are silver, so double-check for the large mint mark. These coins are often overlooked because people don't associate nickels with silver, but they absolutely qualify as junk silver and have real melt value. Now let's move on to dimes. One of the most common places to find junk silver is in older Roosevelt dimes, minted from 1946 through 1964. Every one of these dimes contains 90% silver. They look nearly identical to modern Roosevelt dimes, so the key is to check the date. You won't see any obvious difference by color unless the coin has been heavily circulated. Flip it over and check the date on the obverse. If it says 1964 or earlier, you've got silver. Before the Roosevelt series, there was the Mercury dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime. These were minted from 1916 to 1945 and also contain 90% silver. These dimes are especially prized by collectors for their beautiful design, featuring Liberty with a winged cap, which many people mistake for the Roman god Mercury. Because they're older, you're less likely to find them in circulation, but they do occasionally turn up in mixed coin rolls or old coin jars. If you find one, especially in decent condition, you've struck silver and collectible gold. Next up, let's talk about quarters. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 and has been a staple of United States coinage ever since. But not all Washington quarters are created equal. The ones you're looking for were minted from 1932 through 1964. Like the dimes, these quarters are 90% silver. After 1964, the composition changed to a copper-nickel clad, which looks similar but contains no silver. So again, the date is everything. Flip that coin over, and if it says 1964 or earlier, it's a junk silver winner. Now, a quick note on clad coins. They usually have a distinct copper edge when you look at them from the side. Silver coins, on the other hand, will have a solid silver edge. This is a good way to quickly scan rolls of coins. Just turn them on their sides and look at the edges. Any coin that doesn't show that copper sandwich might be silver. It's not foolproof, but it's a great shortcut when you're hunting through multiple rolls. Let's talk about half dollars next. These are the real stars of the junk silver world because of their size, weight, and silver content. First, let's start with the most common, the Kennedy half dollar. These were introduced in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. The key year here is 1964. The Kennedy halves from that year are 90% silver. But here's where it gets interesting. From 1965 to 1970, the Kennedy half dollars were made with 40% silver. So while they're not quite as valuable as the 90%ers, they still contain silver and are definitely worth keeping. After 1970, the regular circulation Kennedy half dollars were made entirely of copper nickel. However, some 40% silver Kennedy halves were produced as special collector's issues as late as 1976, but those didn't go into general circulation in large numbers. If you're roll hunting or checking old coin jars, focus on 1964 first, and then keep anything from 1965 through 1970. Now let's go even further back in time. Before the Kennedy series, we had the Franklin half dollar, minted from 1948 to 1963. Every single Franklin half dollar contains 90% silver. These coins are highly collectible and have a distinctive design featuring Benjamin Franklin on the obverse and the Liberty Bell on the reverse. These are less likely to be found in everyday change, but you might find them in inherited coin collections or mixed bulk purchases at estate sales or flea markets. Even older than the Franklin is the Walking Liberty half dollar, minted from 1916 to 1947. These are among the most beautiful coins ever produced by the United States Mint, and every one of them is 90% silver. These are very rare in circulation today, but they're still technically junk silver because they're often valued more for their silver content than for rarity, unless you get one in pristine condition or from a key date year. Now here's where things get really exciting. Occasionally, silver coins sneak into modern rolls from the bank. This is where the fun of roll hunting comes in. You can go to your local bank and request rolls of dimes, quarters, or half dollars, whatever they'll give you. Some banks will let you buy whole boxes. Then you go through them, coin by coin or edge by edge, looking for anything that breaks the copper-nickel pattern. The odds aren't as high as they were 20 or 30 years ago, but people still find junk silver this way. It happens often enough that roll hunting has become a favorite hobby among coin collectors. So what are your best chances? Statistically, you're most likely to find silver in half-dollar rolls. That's because half dollars don't circulate as much anymore. Most people don't use them, and banks rarely restock them unless someone brings them in. So if someone drops off a roll of old half dollars at the bank, there's a better chance that it hasn't been picked over yet. Many silver stackers and collectors have found full rolls of Kennedy half dollars from 1964 or from the 40% silver years. Some even report finding Franklin half dollars or the occasional Walking Liberty half dollar. It's rare, but not impossible. With dimes, your next best bet is Roosevelt dimes in rolls from the bank. Again, you're looking for anything from 1964 or earlier. While it's harder to find silver dimes now than it was in the 1980s or 1990s, they're still out there. Older relatives, coin-operated machines, or even someone unknowingly cashing in a coin jar can release silver dimes back into circulation. That's why coin roll hunting remains one of the most exciting and rewarding ways to search for junk silver. As for quarters, they're a bit harder because they get pulled from circulation quickly. But you never know. The Washington quarters from 1964 and earlier do turn up now and then, especially in Coinstar machines, charity bins, and older family collections. Always be on the lookout, and never underestimate the power of checking your change every day. And don't forget those war nickels. Because they don't look silver and aren't as well known as dimes, quarters, or half dollars, they often get passed over. That's good news for you. Every time you go through a roll of nickels, make it a habit to scan for those large mint marks above Monticello and check the dates. It's a small detail that can lead to big silver finds. At the end of the day, finding junk silver in circulation takes patience, persistence, and a little bit of luck. But with some knowledge and a sharp eye, you can still score silver in your everyday life. So get out there, start hunting, and keep stacking. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment sharing your best silver find. Thanks for watching BK Collectables, where history, silver, and treasure come together. See you next time.